Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome.
Oh, Joe? Well, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, the Metal Geek, and that was Joe, but I guess his computer's updating. So in the meantime, we're just going to say, what's going on, Ringside crew? What's going on, internationally known? Are you ready for a game? Are you ready for play some games? Because welcome to the screen, Trixie.
Hello.
Yeah, well, what happened was Joe's computer had a little update, so he should be joining us in a little bit, though. So, for those of you that are not familiar with you, can you please introduce yourself?
Well, I am Trixie. I am the Twisted Game Master, of course. And I am from the Twisted Asylum that nobody has ever been to.
Oh, okay. So, where is this asylum?
It's in a very dark place.
So, do you have any a favorite opponent you would like to wrestle?
Like in the Indies or in the
We could start with both. We could start with indies, though.
Okay. In the Indies, I would like to wrestle Eden von England.
Mhm.
And in the future, maybe Liv Morgan down the road.
Yeah. Oh, that would be actually a great match, to be honest with you. Between you and Liv Morgan, it would be awesome. So, but anyway, how's it going, Riley Measures? To be honest with you, he's our fellow wrestling brother right now.
Oh, what's up?
But is there who are some of your influences, by the way, growing up?
Well, growing up, I've always watched Paige on WWE, and she was a big inspiration to me. So she's actually the one that got me into wrestling. I started going to Luke Gallows training school, and then from then I just went to different training schools, got into it, and now I'm like everywhere.
What is your inspiration for the character? Because I see a lot of the movie Saw from the character.
Yes, I actually love Jigsaw. So I saw that nobody done a Jigsaw gimmick, so I was like, why don't I do one? It's different and nobody's done it. So I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Our good buddy Mariah said he saw you wrestle at MegaCon, the after party show. And he said, "Good stuff. I'd love to know more about what the CWO is and how many members, what their roles in the organization."
Wait, what was the question?
He wants to know what the CW. If you want to read it, he wants to know what the CWO is and how many members and what their roles are in the organization.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on
Marauder, be a little bit more clear, Marauder.
Sorry, my dog hates cats, and she's currently trying to attack one.
If you have any pets on the panel, you could bring them up because the mod loves that stuff. So.
She's right here.
Well, the guest obviously didn't understand what the question was. Is that the cat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so seeing you wrestle at the MegaCon after party, good stuff. I would like to know more about what CWO is.
Oh, the clown organization. I think that's what they're called.
So I guess it means probably Clown World Order,
Yeah, they're a bunch of clowns. They love to just mess around with people.
Do you have so who are some of your favorite wrestlers growing up?
I love Dean Ambrose. Paige, of course.
Paige said.
I liked watching Lita a lot. definitely Jazz, China. And that's basically it.
The mod's just saying what a sweet face, and I cannot because she's talking about the dog. She loves dogs, by the way. So the mod. So she has as you can see, that's her icon right there. Is a golden doodle.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mine.
Me Maida wants to know, what is your favorite tag team match?
I don't know. I don't really watch a lot of tag teams. I'm more into like singles matches. So I don't have a favorite.
I assumed what's it called? I just assumed you were with them because the Riddle Box colors was your manager that night.
Oh, that clown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, is there any match that you won't do, like any hardcore match?
No.
No, like for example, if you had to do like a thumbtacks match, would you refuse to do it, or
I would back away.
or like light tubes or something like that, or
I would do chairs and ladders.
you do a tables, ladders, and chairs match, or yeah.
Thumbtacks, maybe not. I might throw my opponent in the thumbtacks and walk away, but
What is your first match like in front of a crowd?
it was scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary. I was nervous, but I was wrestling with my two friends and my mom. So it brought my nervousness down a little bit because I was with my mom. She's a vet. She knows more than we did. And we had a pretty good match, but it was definitely scary.
Do you have a favorite match, like of yours?
Yes. My favorite match was with
And it could be any match too. It doesn't have to, like any match like that doesn't involve you. It could be, and then you could say one of your favorite matches that involved you.
Oh, okay. So my favorite match ever was Paige versus Nikki Bella for the championship. I think it was the very last one.
And then your favorite match that you had that.
My favorite match that I had would be me versus Lizzie Blair.
This is you versus Lizzie Blair. All right. Do you have any stories from the ring, or?
Not really. No.
No, you don't have any stories, or like that you could tell.
I did get to finally wrestle a guy this past weekend, and that was a really fun match. It was really entertaining. I've never wrestled a guy before ever, and when he gave me some of his moves, I was terrified.
So, what's your opinion on intergender wrestling as the business as a whole? Would you consider doing more of it, or?
I definitely would, because on some moves that I do, I trust guys to catch me more than some females out there. No offense. But yes, I definitely would do it more often if I could.
And Mariah wants to know, you wrestle around Savannah frequently?
I'm getting into Savannah a lot more. So hopefully I'll be back there soon.
And do you have a favorite singles match?
Yes. My all-time favorite singles match would be me versus Aja Perez. I think she's in WWE now as a ref.
You would juggle, or you just roll with them?
I just roll with them right now. I used to be a clown. but now I'm a part of Jigsaw's crew.
And he wants to know where you wrestle out of.
I wrestle out of McDonough, Georgia.
Down in Georgia. Okay, so our friend Marauder said he saw you wrestle recently. So
Yeah, I was in Savannah, Georgia, but I'm pretty much moving everywhere. I don't really wrestle in McDonough a lot.
would you ever make your way to the East Coast or
Yes, I want to make it everywhere.
what are your plans for traveling? Would you want to go to Japan, England for international travel?
I definitely want to wrestle in England, and I definitely want to visit Japan.
Yeah. So Mariah says GA is the East Coast geek. No, not by me though. We mean like the tri-state area.
Okay, yeah.
We mean by like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. That's like the New York area. She asked, do you like ICP?
What's that?
Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, sorry. These names confuse me. Anyway, yes, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite songs from ICP or
No.
no? Do you have any favorite movies or television shows?
My favorite movie, pretty much any horror movie that's out there.
Do you have like a specific one or
I like Friday the 13th, the very first one. That was pretty good.
Do you have any favorite music?
I listen to a bunch of like dubstep type music.
Mariah wants to know if you saw the Saw Room in Vegas.
No, because I've never been to Vegas, but I will make it out there eventually.
Did you see the last Saw movie?
Yes, it's called Spiral.
Spiral, yeah. It was the book of Saw, but it wasn't. It was a Saw movie, but Jigsaw. I don't know. It was kind of like a prequel.
Yeah, I was like really confused at first. I was like, "Oh, that's the pig. Where's Billy?"
He said it's a soft reboot. You mean Saw reboot or soft reboot? Have you saw the recent AEW match or with Chris Jericho in the main event against Nick Gage?
No, I have not watched that one yet.
No, you haven't watched it yet?
No.
Ever so Spiffy wants to know, do you like anime?
This is complicated. I like have a love-hate relationship with anime. So I'm like trying to get into it, but there's like certain ones that I like. So I'm not a huge anime person.
Yeah, me and Joe, we both talk to companies around the world. Is it possible we can name drop you to like some of the other companies?
Yeah.
The wrestling companies, because we're actually having Liberty Pro on the show. We're having the New York Wrestling Connection on the show. So we want to know if we can name drop you to any of those companies.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. And the mod, by the way, loves Studio Ghibli. So, what is your favorite move?
Mine.
Yeah.
Of course, mine.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it?
It's called the Twisted Crammer. Instead of Kramer, it's Crammer. And it's basically like I'm going for a neck breaker, but I turn them into a big face bump.
What's the inspiration towards that move? Like
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins, you loved Kurt Hawkins. Are you a big Major Brothers fan, or do you watch their podcast?
I don't really watch any podcasts, so I don't know.
Mariah says he's the most professional wrestler. What is your favorite food, by the way?
My favorite food. I love sushi.
Sushi.
Yes.
What was your dad's reaction when you told him you want to become a wrestler?
My mom and my dad were both shocked because they thought it was going to be my brother, the one asking, but he never did. And when I asked to be a wrestler, they're like, "Oh, are you sure? I don't know." They didn't want me to do this business at all.
Mhm.
And so I finally said, "Well, I'm going to do it with or without you guys." And they're like, "Okay, let's go to the training school."
What training school did you go to?
I went to Good Brothers Dojo. That's the one that Luke Gallows ran,
Uh-huh.
but I don't think it runs anymore.
Uh-huh.
Right now, I train at TWE in Tennessee.
All right. Did you ever get noticed in public or when you're shopping or?
I did one time with my friends. We were at Dunkin' getting coffee, and they were like, "Are you guys wrestlers?" And we're like, "Yeah." So that felt special to us, even though it wasn't at a huge place.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what else? So is the during the pandemic, is everything okay down in Georgia, or is it oh, and Joe's back, so
Apple products, yes, that's all I'm gonna say. Update.
technology, you gotta love it.
Yes. Update in the middle of a podcast, and I thought he was gonna do the time clock thing, and then have me do the fun intro. Like, I'll finish my intro. Hey, wrestling fans, Joe Panther Jr. introducing Metal Geek, and then I'll do a late delay intro. I'll introduce us to Trixie. There you go. I messed that all up. Sorry about that, fans. Yeah. So yeah, I watched half the thing on Twitch. So we got a view.
we got 5 views on Twitch right now, so which is
I heard some of the questions being answered, and my fun ones already got answered. Thanks, Geek. So has a like fan ever given you any gifts, like anything funny, like any like dolls or like?
I did get a doll. Somebody made a doll of me, and they like handed it to me. They're like, "Is this you?" I was like, I think so. If my hair's pink, right?
Because I see a lot of wrestlers, they also fans somehow they can, well, you do it nowadays, pop vinyls. Has anybody ever tried to make a pop of you?
Not yet, but they have a fan made me on a WWE game on the Xbox.
Now I gotta go to adventure because since we started this podcast and we started getting all the guests, I look and I'm like, because I have, as I told the guests in the past and they all laugh, I say, I refuse to buy 2K20 because the graphics are trash.
Yeah.
You would put some with the hair on the girls. You would like make an example. If I was making your character and I try to edit something, the hair would go up in the air and it was just your scalp.
I guess Joe. I guess this is the tag team. I'm going to make you the tag right now. So
yeah,
you can handle the rest of the interview. There you go.
So, you already asked you like what are your ideas for your character? Here we go. Would you, if the booker came up to you and asked you to wrestle like a wrestler like Matt Gage, would you do it?
I think we asked this.
Did you ask the question like for like?
I think I asked about the light tubes or something like that.
Those kind of matches, like for those kind of matches, hardcore.
Tables, ladders, and chairs, I will do. Thumbtacks? No.
What about Legos?
No. I know those are painful.
That's like popular these days. Like,
what's worse, thumbtacks or Legos? Because everyone says, "Oh, I guess." Because I always used to think thumbtacks were the worst, but since the mod said that Legos are the worst, so I don't know.
Maybe I'll just throw my opponent into the thumbtacks and Legos and just walk away.
Yeah. I was just like, because I went to a wrestling show with Geek, and I didn't know it because there was a show we went to called Victory Pro Wrestling, and we didn't know what kind of show it was. He just bought these tickets, and there was what's it? TJ
Crawford.
TJ Crawford was on the roster.
He's amazing, by the way. If you're on YouTube, you have to go and check him out. He is going to go somewhere.
Definitely.
So Trixie, that's not fair.
Trixie's going to go somewhere too.
Yeah. Of course.
That axe Geek, and that I have ADD, so I was watching you do that preview, and my eyes are right on your hands. We're going by the blade, and all I could think is, I'm an idiot. I would have been like, yeah, and I said, and Geek would have been like, your hand. Geek pushing 9-1 as he's making the video on his on camera. Why are you pushing 9-1? You're about to cut yourself. No, I'm not. And I said, what was that that flew over my head, Joe? Geek? That was your fingers. Yeah, I was watching your hand the whole time. Like, she is getting close. I guess you're probably trained to use the axe, probably, right?
I have, and I've made a promo with a big sword. It's on my Instagram. You might have to go look at that one.
So, you wrestled one of our former guests, Riley Rocket. It's like, did you hear that? I saw this, and she said, "Oh, I've already been a heel." Well, she's heel now. She's trying to heel.
I didn't know that. I thought she was a good guy.
Yeah, she's with these two big, mean-looking dudes with horns on their T-shirt, and they have like bandanas on. And I'm just like, is this another promotion? Did I get confused? Did she trick us, Geek? Like, we're tricked? Like
maybe at School of Morton she's a heel, but in another promotion she's still a face.
Maybe.
I think she said at School of Morton she's a heel.
She was all happy and cheery in her promo. Hi, I'm Riley Rocket, and I'm from the galaxy far, far away. Like, this is a friendly person. Steel chair to the back of the head. Steel chair to Geek.
I guess she became the alien from the movie Independence Day. Right after you would think she's all like cheerful, and then she becomes like from the galaxy far, far. We're gonna make contact. And then the next thing you know, and you hear, "Release man."
Yeah, that's her against the glass. My God! Yesterday, Trixie, we had 2 guests. Yesterday, we first had
we had
Delilah from Boston, Massachusetts, which was
New England.
New England. Boston.
Joe, your geography is off, Joe.
Yeah. And then we were like, oh, the second guest is probably going to be like, man, our second guest, she was we were nerding out. Like, we're about to nerd out with you. Like, what is your favorite, like, video game? And you're the Game Master, so.
My favorite video game would be Resident Evil.
Ooh, which one?
The Village?
The Village, yes. I love that one.
Voices. People banging me. Go away. My favorite game of all time has to be Doom. The original one for the computer. That you just see the guy's face in the corner, and then you have the gun in front of you.
My favorite would be Resident Evil 4.
Oh, I don't think I've played that one yet.
Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube is probably the best Resident Evil.
I used to GameCube.
That, and I think The Last of Us is a really good game too.
I played that. I love that one.
Have you seen any good movies lately?
The last movie that I
Don't say Saw.
It was Saw.
The new one with Chris Rock? Because that hasn't come out yet.
No, it came out. It's on 4K already.
Oh, I haven't even seen that. I kept hearing Chris Rock. I'm like, man, Chris Rock's trying to pull himself away from funny stuff, man. I don't get it. Like, it's weird. I think all comics do that because, like, John Leguizamo was big into making everybody laugh, and then he started making everybody like, I'm not funny anymore. I'm serious. And it's like, John Leguizamo, go back to being funny. You're Sid the Sloth, not Sid the Killer. Like, yeah, I also heard you talk about coming to the East Coast. You haven't been. There's a lot of indie promotions in the New York and East Coast area that would totally be up your alley, like NYWC, the one we always name drop. We're having Liberty Pro. I thought you were in Liberty Pro because I saw like the Liberty logo in the corner of one of your pictures.
Yeah, I've been to Liberty twice now.
They're cool because like they approached us, and then I said we'll email back and forth, me and the owner. And so for me, being a wrestling fan since I was a little boy, finding out my grandfather was a wrestler, like me emailing back and forth with an owner, it's kind of funny and kind of cool, but kind of weird at the same time. Like, I'm actually talking to someone that's like the Vince McMahon of this indie promotion. I'm like, email. I'm like, who's this? Oh, okay. And it's funny because he caught me off guard because I couldn't get open at first. It's him talking. I posted it on the Instagram. And my dad watched it and he goes, he was talking all about himself, Randy. And I said, Dad, that's what we want them to do.
We want them to promote themselves on the show to get them over.
Yeah. Because you made the preview for us, but then afterwards, like right before my computer went to reset itself, I was like, oh my gosh, we never had her make a promo. We only had her make a preview. I was like, dang it. But if you still want to later on, tomorrow, whenever you're not busy, you could do that too. If you want to.
Yeah.
You can make it even scarier and even kookier than with the axe. You could be sitting there chopping wood and then, oh, hey, guys. Well, if you want to do it really how we describe our fans, we call our fans the ringside crew.
Okay.
You could say so you can incorporate ringside crew with the promo if you ever do one.
If you could.
I will. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey there, ringside crew. What's going on? I'm Trixie. I was just like, man, because our promo started out with just recording it after like them doing it during the show, and then I'm sitting there trying to have my hands not shake as I'm watching the podcast afterwards, and my hands focusing like this with the iPhone and my fingers like this, going, don't shake. And then they went from that to like being like a movie, like a real movie, like Crusher that's coming on next week. She made, I don't know if you saw the preview from her. It's like a movie. There's people sitting there in the dark, like confessing, talking about the Crusher, what she does. Who is she? Is she a singer? Is she an artist? Like, who is she?
Sounds cool.
Yeah. I'm like, my dad's like, you guys are getting really big, get these previews. And I'm like, I like calling them previews and promos. Previews are just whatever that's going to happen with the rest.
It's a show coming up, and promo, it's like, hey, you're watching Dudes at Ringside podcast.
Yeah.
That's a promo.
Like, like I send the people the scripts, and then my dad's like, why do you call it a script? Well, it is a script because it says, hi, my name is, and then it says period, and then it says indie promotions I represent, or promotions I represent. Yeah. So if like, I'm going back to the questions because we're gibbering. So if a little boy or a little girl came up to you and asked you, they said, I want to become a professional wrestler, what would you tell them?
I would say you can accomplish any dream that you want. I would look up a training school nearest to you and start training as soon as possible. Because the younger you start, the better you're going to be when you get older.
Do you have a favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show is the Purge series.
Kind of figured. It was something along those lines. I thought it was going to be either that or Saw the series.
There's a Saw series?
Was there?
Oh, I don't know. I was making stuff up.
I was like,
I'm gonna hear that. Well, he is in Sleepy Hollow right now. So
It's kind of creepy over here. Yeah.
you missed the weird cameras things before you came in, and I thought it was because of Trixie coming in, but his cameras and the lights started blinking in the.
It's like both these cameras, they started blinking right before. And Joe went off the screen and I went off the screen. I'm like, what the hell? You know?
Spooky.
It is spooky over here, yeah.
Trixie. It's the Trixie. She's coming for you, geek. She's gonna kick your door in.
She's gonna get the axe with the axe too.
Like in The Simpsons when the Halloween episode when Homer freaks out Bart and he's like, "I got you, brownies." Yes, like, you know the episode I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's like, "You want brownies?" Ah!
Yeah, the Shining episode I'm talking
Yes.
about. I know what you're talking about.
He's like, "Geek, I autographed my axe for you." It's 6 a.m, Trixie. I forgot what time it was. Okay. Oh gosh. So I think Geek already probably asked you this. Like, who out of all your opponents you've had would you say would be like your all-time like favorite match you've done so far in your career?
That's a hard one. I would say the last match that I had with my mom would be my favorite one.
Oh wow.
Well,
I missed it. Did you mention your mom? Because my computer was updating.
I think I did. Well, I said that
I think you said somebody else before.
Oh yeah, it was Aja, but definitely my mom is one of my favorites also. I fought my mom for a championship title.
Mm-hmm. Are you currently a champion or?
I was, and then she took it away from me. But it's okay, because I'll get it back.
So we are the kings of rivalry shout outs. So if you want to shout out anybody you're in a rivalry with, then the stage is yours, Trixie.
Right now I'm in a rivalry with J-Mo. He wrestles at Bad Boy Pro in Huntsville, Alabama. And you know what, J-Mo? You may have all these glow sticks. You may be this like light up to kids' dreams, or you're like having fun with them. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stop that glow. I'm going to break all your glow sticks. Maybe shove them in your eyeballs. Who knows? But I'm about to end you, J-Mo. That's it.
Do you have a favorite character from the movie Saw, or
Billy?
really?
Okay, here we go. Besides Saw, what is your other favorite horror movie?
Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah. So, what do you think of that reel I made for you? I use the Nightmare on Elm Street theme. To me, it had that with the pictures I chose of yours in the reel. It was perfect. I was like, because it goes the one half your face like this, and then you're sideways, and then I was like, the last one is you're biting Riley Rock's hand.
Yeah, her blood tastes great.
You know something? You know who should be a good either tag team or face against? And Joe knows who I'm thinking.
Mother Endless.
Yes.
Know about her yet?
What?
Does she know? Do you know about Trick? You know about Mother Endless yet?
No.
Oh my
man!
Up later.
Look, after you get off here, you have to look up Mother Endless.
Okay.
And her promos are absolutely crazy. Like, she has a voice, like a deep voice. Like, she talked like this.
She talks out of the base of her. She must have went to speech, like for those, when you're like college, you choose different majors. So it must have been speechology, because she talks like this when she talks. Her theme song, she must have been taught how to rap, because her theme song, it flows. It's like this weird speech thing before she talks, and then it says her like spitting, like, and not rapping, but it's like her talking, but it's like it's like her talking, but it sounds like a rap. but it's creepy.
Mother Endless is a wild man. Come on.
Yeah.
She's the voice of Halloween.
Oh yeah, definitely. I drop my candy bag and leave Lance in the street. Like,
I'll be like, see ya, Joe. Bye. All right. That's it, right?
We filmed an episode for her that'll be airing on Halloween.
Nice.
Yeah.
And actually, Geek regretted it because if we would have thought about this better, Trixie, we could have filmed your episode and aired it like the week of Halloween.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Well, we could always redo another day when you're not busy and just film another episode.
I would love to come back on.
Yeah.
There we go,
awesome.
Geeky. We'll have to plan it.
Yeah.
When you're not busy touring and
we'll plan it next Halloween.
there you go. Her hair will be black and pink by that time. All black on top. That'll be another. If you go
either that or be teamed with Abaddon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Abaddon. Because you have Evil Dead and then you have Saw.
Makes sense.
Trying to think what else we got. So where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Hopefully on AEW or WWE.
Mm-hmm. Wish nothing but the best for you.
Oh, 100%, Trixie. Because as I said before this podcast, I never knew any of these wrestlers, and now we have all you guys. Like, we're like, well, I missed half the podcast, so I can't really say we're like best. We're like buddies, but now we're slowly becoming like friends.
Yeah.
So like if you got chosen to come to AEW, we'd definitely be like even more that we want you to come back. We'd be like, let's hear some stories. Do you have any stories? Actually, by the way, you have any stories from the road?
Basically, I travel with my mom everywhere I go. So she goes to every single show with me. My mom is basically my best friend because we've grown more riding to all these shows together, like 9 hours away, 7 hours, 2 hours.
That's cool that your mom is involved in your wrestling career. Like some people, they just do this. They tell their parents, I'm going to Knoxville. I'm going to New York case. I'm going to Boston for a show. Okay, baby, be careful. Don't do this. Make sure you go through this traffic. I'll give you the map. Your mom is with you on this journey. So it's like she's like your road bud. You know what I mean? She's your sidekick. You're Batman to your Robin right there on the side, helping you out. That's deep. You know what I mean? That's really deep.
Yeah, like we'll go to Arkansas, North Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee. But right now, we're slowly starting to get on shows that are in separate places.
Okay, that's good. So if you could book a Saw match and use weapons, what would you use?
Oh, jeez.
I'd use the saw, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe some axes, maybe.
You better not use a pizza cutter because Domino's might find out about that one.
What is happening?
And they might sue.
Please.
Maybe some finger torture rack things.
It bends the fingers back. Oh, jeez. Oh gosh! Now we're gonna see this geek. She's gonna send us a video clip of her with Riley Rocket beating her for the belt, but she like bends her finger back and the camera gets on her face. Tell Joe and Metal Geek I'm their favorite guest. Say it. You're my favorite guest. I am. Oh my god! Well, that could be your next promo. You have her by the finger saying, "Say I was the favorite guest. I was the favorite guest." By the way, you're watching Dudes at Ringside podcast. Your finger half bent back. I'm like, can we put that on Instagram? Isn't this hard? Isn't this violence? I got scared when I loaded your video. I'm thinking, is Instagram going to take this down for violence? It's an axe.
I mean, she didn't use it, so.
Yeah, but yesterday we got totally. We loaded. We loaded a video preview that this Delilah sent us, and I'm stupid. I didn't listen to the music because whenever I get a video of someone, it's muted. And I loaded it, and it had the Dropkick Murphys, That song, "Go to Boston," the one they play on the beer commercial for Samuel Adams.
And not only that, Joe, we just thought of our next pizza podcast.
What?
Saw Pizza Podcast.
Oh yeah, Saw Pizza.
There you go.
We got to get our buddy Joe to draw a picture of us at the table, and Trixie's on top of the table, like.
And Jigsaw's in the corner. So
Jigsaw's at the pizza. She's dropping. We're sitting on each side of the table, like.
And dudes at Domino's podcast.
He's pulling the
string. No, we'll get sued now, right?
Trixie's pulling the string to drop the blade to cut the pizza. That'll be perfect. But we're both. We'll both be like, because we're stuck in the chair. You have us strapped in the chair and we can't get out. Because the blade can go either way. Or you're jumping in the air and you're about to chop the pizza with your axe.
Yes.
And we're like, you have Geek yelling, "Knife, use a knife. Who needs a knife? That's not a knife. This is a knife."
Our mods try to be funny.
We only covered the pizza cutter thing. Do you like? What's your favorite food?
Sushi.
Yay, we can hang out. I love the sushi.
I hate anything seafood or sushi related.
I'm allergic to the shellfish side, but I could eat Dang it, that was my house. That was
your house. I thought that was what was going on over here where I am.
Well, I could eat the spicy tunas. I could eat stuff like that. I love eel. I love eating unagi. That's one of my favorite sushi to get. There's a comic that I love. He got me to like the unagi because he has a running joke. He's like, "Unagi, give you power." And I'm like, I say that stupidly every time. I would eat. What?
Oh, come on, Marauder.
Marauder, she's gonna take that axe on you, boy.
she knows what wrestling shows you go to too, so I'd better watch out.
Yeah. Kind of hard to hide a little khaki flight. It's kind of hard to hide in a convention when you're wearing a Ghostbusters flight suit. Oh, ratted you up. Oh well. She's not gonna hit me with the axe because she knows I'm the one that's a mod on the Dudes at Ringside page. She'll be like, "Joe, when can I come back?" "Oh, no problem, bud. We'll give you a date." Right, Trixie?
Right.
Yeah. And also, if I ever, as I said to Geek, if I can't come in because I'm trying to go to Halloween Horror Night in Universal Studios again this year, you're like us. You're a nerd. You can be my replacement for the show. Geek will be like, "Hey, Trixie, you available? Can take Joe's spot for the night?" "Sure, okay." And you'll be able to meet other wrestlers because we have
If Riley Measures was in here earlier.
Yeah, Riley Measures probably went to.
I think he's still in here somewhere. Probably he's probably just listening.
He's sitting in the corner listening quietly. These boys talk about me too much. I don't know if
I don't know if I'm going to be on their podcast now.
He came in for Geek's birthday. Yeah. See, that was another thing. We should have invited you and not imagine that. Geek's birthday.
You should have the axe or something.
You have a cake and you're just like, "Happy birthday." Cake just destroyed. Or you're like, "I'm eating a cake. I'm eating cake. No one else has it. More." My favorite cake is I'm a big fan of strawberries. So I always like strawberries and fresh whipped cream. I'm spoiled. My mom made cakes when I was a kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how in high school I didn't weigh 500 pounds. I don't know how I didn't weigh 500 pounds in high school. My mom would make it, and she'd leave the leavings, the leftover pieces in a bowl with the leftover whipped cream and the leftover strawberries. We were swimmers, so we never really. We'd go to practice, come home, and then inhale anything that's on the table. Yeah. So, do you collect anything?
Knives. Look at
That's cool. So, what is the most expensive knife you've ever bought? What?
The most expensive one would be $100. It's not that expensive, but I've pretty much found a lot of cheap ones at places. The 99, which was almost 100, it was like a holographic knife.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
Like, I always go into these stores and I look at the knives. There's like there's knives with like the handle has like almost looks like snake skin. There's one that had like designs in it like dragons.
Oh yeah.
When I saw that the blade was like it almost looked like it was like a dragon like flying, and on the blade was like, I don't know, I'm like, oh my god, all I can think is ow, because that goes into your skin and it's like gone. It's like, oof. I have a katana, but it's not a real official katana. It's like something someone gave my dad, and my dad gave it to me. So like, I'm like, they should have. My dad's like, that's not by your bed, and I'm like, why do I need a katana by my bed? I have bats in my room.
I have a Halo type sword on those like Halo games. That type sword. Oh my god, I love that one to death. Like I hang it up on my wall. And one night, my brother was here and he took it off my wall, and then he was like messing around. I was like, that is sharp, put it down.
Yeah, you wrestle in the Georgia area, right? Correct. Do you know Skiller the Great?
Yes.
You know him?
Super cool guy.
He is awesome, by the way.
He's a nerd.
He could talk. We were
Dude,
talking.
he talked to us for about 3 hours.
Yeah, he can talk.
He just won the championship too. He won a title.
Of course he did. What doesn't?
Yeah.
exactly. Joe, come on, Joe. Right?
Yeah.
It's Dudes at Ringside, the home of champions.
Oh, the home of champions.
Yeah.
And then we also have our favorite guest, Trixie.
She just lost the belt.
Oh, but still, it's Trixie. Yeah, there's a few wrestlers that we've had on here. And my dad's like, oh, who you got? Champion. My dad goes, Randy, do you get anybody that's not a champion? And I'm like, yeah, we got this person, that person, but champions are good. My dad doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He doesn't.
Yeah. I'm not a champion right now, but I'll get it back.
You were a champion.
I'll get it back.
You'll get it back. Definitely.
Riley, please drop a video clip of you pinning her 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that title's gonna be mine. It's easy. Piece of cake.
But hopefully she doesn't bring that stable with her and try to use that against you.
I mean, they don't scare me. Come on, I have Billy the puppet.
Oh yeah. You just like have him roll in his little cart on the ring.
Are you a heel or face, by the way?
I'm a heel.
You're a heel.
The videos I saw, the keyboard chanting Trixie.
Yeah, people are chanting Trixie, so I'm like I was very confused.
I had to be a baby face one time somewhere, and a lot of people were cheering my name, so it was weird for me. I was like, I'm not used to this.
This is supposed to be the heel, right?
Yeah.
There's a few groups on the East Coast that you would fit into. There's a few stables, there's a few indie promotions that have a lot of dark groups. So you could probably fit in, like, as I said, with Mother Endless, because she has this stable that. What's the name of her stable? Because I
think it's called the Endless Stable.
Yeah.
Right.
Endless, yeah.
Not just Endless Stable, but it's Endless, right?
Yeah. You're definitely gonna have to message her. She's very. If you're a wrestler, I guess she probably gets back to you faster because we're just fans. That's all we are. Fans with a microphone in front of our face. As I tell Geek, we're not just fans. We're media now.
Yeah.
So
her up.
Sort of. Yeah, she's good. She's good people, like, because her friend her partner from her group, we were at the show and we met her. Who was it? We met her member of her stable was at this promotion we went on to that night.
Megan
Facebreaker.
Megan Mason.
Megan, what's that?
Mason.
Mason.
Her nickname's a Facebreaker.
Yeah. And my mom's like, who is that girl? I'm like, Facebreaker. That's your wrestling name? Facebreaker? Yeah, Facebreaker. That's why she's doing this in picture. I think she's like no more bigger than me. And I'm 5'1". Geek is about like, how tall are you, Geek?
Probably 6.
Yeah.
No.
I'm a fidget standing next to him. And next to most people, I'm a fidget.
All the wrestlers be like, "Where's Joe?" Oh, Joe down there. Right?
Oh, there's Puppy. Yay, Pup.
Yeah, the mod was going crazy over the puppy earlier. I don't know if you saw it, Joe.
Is that a bulldog? No, it's a pit bull, right?
Boxer.
Boxer. Oh, wow. I feel bad because my friend has one and it's brown.
Oh, yeah, her mom was brown. She came out white.
Oh, that's so cute. Different. Gotta be different, right?
Yeah.
Albino or just white? Is it just...
She's just a boxer.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Totally awesome. Ask the game questions because that's part of your gimmick. We asked what you collect, knives. I heard you already asked about if you would want to travel overseas. Did you answer that question? Because I was not here, so I didn't get a chance to answer that question.
Oh yeah, I want to go to England, Japan, Korea.
Ooh, Korea.
Yeah.
Well, we are having on a promotion from London, England, called CPW. You should look up them when the podcast is over. They have men and women wrestling, and they have some. Actually, the person I think you would want to team up with in a stable in England, her name is Alfie. AL. Yes, she sent us. I was like, I said sticker. I sent her a sticker, and she's like, "Oh, you want a T-shirt?" And I was like, send her back. Sticker for a T-shirt, and then I realized what she was doing. She sent us a T-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Better than a sticker.
Yes, I didn't think about it. Geek's like, Joe, shut up. She's sending us a shirt. She's sending us shirts. In my head, that is the coolest thing ever because I've never, Chris Jericho style, ever have a wrestler sent us T-shirts for a sticker. And I know what she was doing. By her sending us T-shirts, we're promoting her in America.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. We're promoting her in America. And I have no problem doing it because you would be a good stable with Alfie, or you and her would be a good match because she likes to do a lot of concertos. And spears. Yeah, she likes to do concertos and she likes to do a lot of spears. That's her trademark, the spear.
I like to do spears.
Her character's a psycho heel, so she'd be like, Trixie, let's go. She has the tongue ring and everything. She's like, that's her pose. She's like that. She does like the anime pose with like.
I do an anime pose with this thing from Tokyo Ghoul.
Ah. Yeah. Geek, anything else? What happened, Geek? Did you?
I said I'm good.
Oh, you were like, I saw you typing something, and then you were like,
yeah.
All right. Trixie, do you want to promote anything? Any shows you're doing? Any merch? Where you want to get your merch or anything?
My merch is on Pro Wrestling Tees. It's Trixie. That's it. I will be in Arkansas August 14th. If anybody is in Arkansas. But yeah. I wrestle in Alabama a lot. So any shows that I do will be on my Instagram at twisted_Trixie1.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure Mariah wants to know if you're coming back to Georgia.
I will be in Macon, Georgia. I can actually tell you the date. I write everything down because I forget.
That's like us. So we're booked till 2022. So Joe, when a new wrestler has to jump on, Joe has to go calendar.
I like now keep my calendar next to my bed like it's a little puppy or a baby.
Calendar. Oh, there you
Calendar,
are.
running around calendar. Oh, you're right there. Oh, sorry, buddy. Yes, I'm like the male version of Trixie. I'm like calendar. Oh, hey, there you go. I treat it like it's a Disney movie. The eyes are gonna open up right here.
I'm right here, Joe. I'm right here.
I gotta get like a picture stick figure of me just yelling in the air, like this, and then it just says calendar, and then the calendar will be right behind my leg.
Yes.
That's me every time.
I forget everything, so I just write it down in my notes on my phone. Okay.
Yes. Oh, the mod before head pops. What's your puppy's name?
Oh, her name is Nami, like tsunami.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we don't want to hold you up, Trixie. So,
I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for dealing with our mishaps with the time.
Our rambling too.
That's good. Thank you guys for having me.
No problem. We'll have to drop you on another date, like if you could do it on a Wednesday. We'll like film one episode and we'll toss it on around Halloween.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Chris, for having me.
All right, bye.
Have a good one. Thank you.
What a great interview, Joe. Right?
And I'm sorry about that, fams. My computer was being. I thought maybe I didn't think it needed to get an update, but it did. So it updated right in the middle of the podcast.
That's my fear right there. If that ever happened to me, because I'm running the whole show basically. I don't know if anybody knows. You know what I mean by that, Joe? Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm the main screen. So if my computer goes, Joe's computer goes, and then the guest.
The mod's gonna start crying.
So, anyway, I want to thank everyone for coming on. Riley Measures for staying up late. I want to also make an announcement that later, I think tickets are now on sale for Scars and Stripes. So if you guys want to go buy your tickets. Please support your local indies and buy your T-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. And Joe?
Yes, go buy your wrestling shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com, and you'll get to buy your tickets for any indie promotion out there because they're back, and you can go sit in person and watch the fun stuff instead of have to sitting on your YouTube watching the stuff. And we'll be back soon because we're interviewing Ashley Bushbone. So see you guys later.
Later in about an hour.
About an hour.
Later.